You are Locked On 76ers Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Philadelphia, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome in to Locked On Sports Philadelphia's YouTube channel, home of your Locked On 76ers Postcast. I'm going to miss it. 4 games left. I got to say this, and I feel like I say it every show, and I probably do. I legit feel bad for a lot of these guys that are working their asses off playing for the 76ers, like zero question about it. These guys are doing everything they can to try to win these basketball games, put good film out there, as they always say in the NFL, you know, the NBA. And this team, again, came up with a perfect loss. The Philadelphia 76ers came up with yet another perfect loss, and that perfect loss is they fought like anything to try to win this basketball game. And in the fourth quarter, Anthony Edwards just took over. Anthony Edwards did exactly what you're supposed to do if you're the best player on the floor. And guess what? The Sixers took that shot. They took that punch to the mouth, and they kept on fighting. Like the old Mike Tyson line about everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face. Well, the Sixers, they had a plan. They got punched in the face, and guess what? They went down still, but went down swinging. And I love that attitude, especially from a guy like Quentin Grimes, who went on to hit, I think it was 4 threes in that fourth quarter, including back-to-back-to-back threes to help pull the Sixers back into the game. They get a crucial call overturned, a good challenge by Nick Nurse late in the game to keep Quentin Grimes in the game. Would have fouled out. But I just love, overall, my number one takeaway from this game is that the 76ers fought as hard as they possibly could and gave the Minnesota Timberwolves all they could handle in this game. Now, push all that aside for a second. I'm happy the Sixers lost, so they maintain pace with, keeping their 5th worst record in the NBA. Welcome into Locked On 76ers Postcast and the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. My name is Mark Farzetta. Don't forget, you can also catch me on Locked On Phillies YouTube channel with your Phillies postcast after each and every game. This particular game is after Bryson Stott had a bit of a base running blunder against the Dodgers. So the Phillies dropped game 2 of that 3-game series. Hopefully they bounce back tomorrow. So I'm still a little moody from that. But anyway, Sixers gave me a little bit of hope tonight, albeit that they lost. So let's start it off the way you're supposed to start.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
I'm never going to give it to anybody else other than the 76er, but if I had to, it would obviously be Anthony Edwards. Started that fourth quarter with, I believe, 21 points, ended with 37 points in total. Certainly deserves a hat tip for how well he played, especially with that dagger of a 3 that he hit with Jared Butler in his face. He had Lonnie Walker IV in his face. That was unbelievable. And A-Rod was in attendance, of course, owner of the Minnesota Timberwolves, partial owner, whatever he is. Anthony Edwards hit that right there, and that was just incredible. And it was incredible to watch him play, especially in the early goings of that fourth quarter, where the Minnesota Timberwolves said, oh, the Sixers, look, they're sticking around. That's adorable. Pat him on the head, push him aside, and dominate. And that's what he did. And then Quentin Grimes got him going. And this is why I'm going to go with Quentin Grimes as my player of the game officially. I'm going to make it officially official. Quentin Grimes is the player of the game. And the number one reason why he is the player of the game tonight, well, because it was a never say die attitude. And after Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves rattled off a 13-0 run, who stepped up for your 10-9-8 76ers? But Quentin Grimes. 2:12 mark of the fourth quarter. He has hit his 3rd of back-to-back-to-back threes on back-to-back-to-back possessions. Made it a 3-point game. Then later comes down the other end again, knocks down another 3, and all of a sudden the Sixers are really in this ball game. He was the guy that kept him in it. Gershon Yabusele was tough in this game. Adem Bona was a lot better down the stretch, this, that, and the other. But it was Quentin Grimes that was really putting on a display. He finished with 28 points in the 76ers' 55th loss of the season. So credit to Quentin Grimes for all that. As for where everything changed.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Again, the main theme of this particular program tonight is the fact that the 76ers were in this game, and it certainly proved true throughout. And when you had a 27-3 edge in favor of the Timberwolves, that's a pretty tight game after the first quarter. Then in the second quarter, 28-28. Third quarter, 28-31 in favor of the Sixers. Things trending in the right direction, looking good. And then the turning point happened at the start of that fourth quarter when Anthony Edwards started knocking down threes. Very simple, 11-15 mark of the fourth quarter. He knocks down his first three. 9-10 mark of the fourth quarter. He knocks down his first three. This one was on Bagley. It was an 87-87 game. Anthony Edwards knocks down a three, makes it 90-87. Then the next trip down the floor, Anthony Edwards knocks down another three. This one was on Lonnie Walker the fourth. This made it 93-87. It helped the Timberwolves go on a 13-0 run to start out that fourth quarter. Without question, the turning point, and it wasn't just the Timberwolves knocking down shots, it was the 76ers' inability to knock down shots. Sixers went without a point. Not just field goals, without a point from the 11:06 mark of the fourth quarter to the 5:44 mark of the fourth quarter. You are not going to win basketball games if you do not score a point for 5 minutes. That's going to be a little difficult. 5+. It's going to be a little difficult, a little hard. It's going to be hard to do it. So maybe don't do that. But anyway, after that is when Quentin Grimes absolutely went off and made the Sixers actually make this a game of it. All in all, I'm going to jump right to this right now because I feel bad burying the lead, if you will. Well, the lead is the Sixers lost, and they maintain their fifth worst record in the NBA, trying to get as close to the Pelicans as possible. But the Pelicans, they got maybe one more win left in them against the Brooklyn Nets, maybe, but I doubt it. But without further ado, let's jump right to this.
This is what you'll be talking about.
You're going to be talking about how Anthony Edwards took the soul of not just the 76ers as an entire team, but at the 8:18 mark of the first quarter, took the soul of Adem Bona. Let's live our lives for a second as if we're Adem Bona. You just came off a career game, 28 points. Oh, my goodness gracious, you were amazing. It was incredible. And then you come back onto the court to get your second straight start for the Sixers, and within 4 minutes, Anthony Edwards dunks on you so violently that I saw Adem Bona's soul leave his body, look down upon the court, and went, wait a minute, I'm not supposed to be up here, and then return to Adem Bona's body. That was absolutely nasty. And as someone who, generally speaking, roots for the Sixers to win basketball games, that was just amazing. He just I think half his arm was through the rim. And then, that was just the first soul he conquered on the night. And then with about 14 seconds left, or actually 7 seconds left, he gets the inbounds pass after the Sixers made the Timberwolves take a timeout with the side out of bounds play. Great defense, forces the Timberwolves to take their second to last timeout. Anthony Edwards gets the ball in his hands, foul line extended perimeter. Lonnie Walker's on him, and so is Jared Butler. And he just hoists a three to knock it down and goes from a 111 game, 111 to 109 to 114 to 109. And that was the final score of the game. Anthony Edwards was just fantastic tonight. And I referenced how great it was to see the Sixers battle. Because I put it like this. I want the Sixers to lose, but I want the guys wearing the Sixers jerseys to play well. Is that fair enough? Fair enough to say? And the Sixers did that for the vast majority of the night, with the exception of about a 5 to 6 minute run there in the fourth quarter where they had to play catch up the rest of the way. And they played a great version of catch up. They really did, especially with Quentin Grimes. But other than that, that was the rough patch, that 6 minute stretch. But Anthony Edwards took their soul, and that was that. When we come back, we'll talk about a couple other of these guys on the Sixers roster. We'll also talk about that really stuck out tonight. We'll also talk about the saving grace of only 4 games left, how, again, it was a perfect loss, and we will also talk about some guys on the Timberwolves that were just too hot to handle. That's when we return on Locked On 76ers Postcast and the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. DoorDash. Hopefully you guys love yourself some DoorDash. And if you don't, get on board with DoorDash. NBA fans, they swoosh, you save. Excuse me, thanks to Dash Pass. Every time a player drops 50 or more points in the game, you score huge the next day. It's simple. When a player scores 50 or more points in a game during this season, this regular season, Dash Pass members get 50% off an order up to $10 off the next day from noon to midnight. Here are a few ways you can take advantage of this deal. First off, I would just follow Steph Curry. Just make sure you're paying close attention to Steph Curry because it could save you 50% up to $10 off your next DoorDash order. After an epic 50-point performance, celebrate by ordering wings, pizza, burgers, all from your favorite spot, delivered straight to your door. Late night cravings, I know I got them. Whether you're staying up late, watching highlights, or just need a midnight snack, take advantage with the Dash Pass to grab something delicious while saving big. Sign up for Dash Pass and be ready to save. When any player scores 50 or more points in the game, Dash Pass members get 50% off an order the next day, up to $10 off. Just use promo code NBA50. That's NBA50. From noon to midnight after a 50-point game, eligible orders at participating merchants must have an active Dash Pass account. Terms apply. Visit DoorDash to learn more. And how about the Game Time app? Nothing like the energy of a game, the squeak of the sneakers on the floor, whatever it might be. NBA playoffs, maybe, in your city, not Philadelphia. That's crazy. But Game Time gets you in. Game Time makes it easy to score last-minute tickets. It's easier than ever. Prices actually drop as the event gets closer and closer. So whether it's a game, whether it's a comedy show, whether it's a comedy show or a concert is the word that adults use for those things. They're all in. Pricing is fantastic as well at the Game Time app. You can also save up to 60% off buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, all that type stuff. You can grab last minute seats for the Phillies when they got the great zone deals going on with the Game Time app. And how about this? The lowest price guaranteed with the Game Time guarantee, so you don't have to worry about overpriced tickets. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with the Game Time app. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use promo code LOCKEDONNBA. That's LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Again, terms apply. Use promo code LOCKEDONNBA. That's LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. All that with the Game Time app. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. As promised, we're looking at the 76ers box score. A couple other guys that jumped out to me. Lonnie Walker IV really did a great job spreading his points out throughout the night. Kind of came up small there in the fourth quarter, unfortunately, but did finish with 18 points off the bench for the Sixers, a 6 of 12 shooting, 3 threes made on 3 of 8 shooting from beyond the arc. Quentin Grimes, I mentioned, 6 threes, 6 of 10 shooting for those 28 points. Jared Butler finished with 16 points for the Sixers. Gershon Yabusele, 19 points. Did not hit a 3 tonight. Out of character for Gershon Yabusele. As for those Minnesota Timberwolves, goodness gracious, check this out. Anthony Edwards, 37 points, a game high. 6 for 13 from beyond the arc. And then Rudy Gobert, oh my goodness gracious. In the words of Craig Kilborn, former SportsCenter anchor, hurt me. 23 points, 19 rebounds. 8 of them coming on the offensive glass, 11 on the defensive end of things. Absolutely dominant. Now, the reason that's important is because looking at the 76ers, 10 rebounds by Adem Bona, just barely got to that in the later stages of the game. Other than that, 6 rebounds by Colin Castleton, the guy that I still think won a contest to play for the Sixers at the end of the year. And then Marcus Bagley, 5 boards. 34 rebounds by your 76ers tonight. It was a bit of a rough one. Now, what really matters is the NBA standings, and here's where it sits right now still. Now, the Pelicans, still 2 games worse. So the Pelicans need to go on a 3-game win streak, and the Sixers need to continue to just lose. And, you know, they've lost 11 in a row right now. So can I get 15? Can I get 15 losses in a row? All in all, it looks like this is the way the NBA standings are going to end, at least where the Sixers standing sits. With the Jazz and the Wizards still duking it out for the worst record in the NBA, and then the Charlotte Hornets followed by the New Orleans Pelicans, the Sixers, and the Brooklyn Nets. That's how that shapes up for your Sixers. As for what's next for your 76ers, as I said, they got 4 games left in the season. Here's the way it breaks down. They got the Miami Heat coming up Monday at 7:30 in Miami. Then they got the Washington Wizards at 7 o'clock in D.C. Then they round out the season Friday and Sunday. Friday night against the Atlanta Hawks in South Philly, and then the Chicago Bulls coming up Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock. And that'll be the end, the merciful end, this coming week, it's only Saturday, to your 10-9-8 76ers dreadful season. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging in there. My name is Mark Farzetta. This is Locked On 76ers Postcast and the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Don't forget, tomorrow afternoon, I will be doing the Philadelphia Phillies Postcast on the Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. Connor Thomas has you covered all throughout the week with Locked On Phillies Daily Podcast, and I have you covered for each and every Phillies game after the game, right there for you, doing the Locked On Phillies Postcast and the Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. Thanks, everybody. Catch you guys tomorrow on Locked On Phillies Postcast. See you guys then. Have a great night. Bye.